Hi there, today I'll be reviewing a new game. It was a very fun one. I found a very clever, fun tactic in it, and I'm excited to show you it. The game begins with d4.
d5 establishes a
and
presence in the
my opponent
center,
plays
controls the e4 square,
d5 in this
and opens
position.
up the light square.
It's a mirrored position
Bishop
right off the
f4
bat.
develops the dark
And I
squared
develop my
bishop to an
starting with my
out comes the
trusty
knight
London
and into the
setup.
battle.
He then develops his knight.
You activate your knight by
And I get my
this
knight
activates a
developed as
bishop
well,
by developing
and
it
bring
off
down
of
his
its
bishop.
starting square.
So pretty symmetrical, besides my knight that I developed is on the opposite side.
Your bishop is ready to be developed
And
to
I
an
play
active
this move
square.
e3 to strengthen my center.
That's not a mistake,
And
but
he
it's not
goes
the
for a
best move
cheeky
either.
fork with his knight.
This blocks an attack on
I-
your pawn.
I decide to just trade off my bishop, get two pawns in the center. Even though I double my pawns, I think it's still a pretty healthy move for my center in general. And the computer wanted me to play knight to b3. I understand why, just to block the fork, maybe just kick away the knight on the next move, not have to lose a bishop from it, but
This
I
forces
decided
the opponent
go
to
with a different option.
recapturing.
He takes, I take back.
The bishop is ready to be developed to an
and he
active
plays
square.
This move e6, getting ready to develop more in the center. Maybe play a move next like c5 to develop his bishop while having tempo. And
You've just allowed your
maintaining
knight
the
to be
pawn.
taken without
I
a
decide
fight.
to capture. Computer really doesn't like this move. Why is that? Oh, because I'm just hanging a knight.
This activates a queen by developing it off of its
This
starting
move would
square.
have been putting my queen out.
The bishop is
my
ready to be
pawn.
developed to an active recapturing.
Well,
You've
I
just
decided to hang my
this
knight one
overlooks an
move.
opportunity to
He
capture a free.
misses it.
You
I bring out my
this
knight.
allows the opponent to win
He
material
then
through a fork.
thinks he's forking me.
You overlooked an opportunity to win
but I take
material
the
through.
bishop,
This isolates a pawn.
and he takes.
You missed an opportunity to win
I give
material.
him a check.
This evades the check from the
He
knight.
moves his king out
You
of
are
the way.
threatening to win a rook by this threatens to
Move
force
my
the
knight
loss of
so it's
castling
not
rights.
capturable by the king. And he takes a pawn in my
You
center.
captured back.
I take back. Now my pawns are feeling a little bit isolated here in the center. Nothing to support them on the sides of the board.
The queen develops or moves for the first
Queen
time.
decides to come out.
You missed an
I
opportunity
just
to
moved
kick
my
the
knight back.
The queen develops or
What
moves
the
for the
computer
first time.
prefer in this position. Just pushing the pawn. Okay. Anyway, I end up bringing the knight back. He attacks this pawn here on e3, and he strikes in the center. Finally, got to do it at some point, though, right? And I ignore this move. Not a great move here, but that's what I decided to do. I threaten mate in 1, which the computer doesn't like, and he also plays a bad move. This is the game of mistakes now, isn't it? And I take back my knight move, trying to get it to a better spot on the board. He takes with his pawn. I take back with my knight, and I see this fork now with my knight hitting this square, hitting his king and his queen. And he sees it too, so he moves his king. I ask if he wants to trade queens. Probably was not a good move for me. My pawns are just so jacked up. But I decide to take back. Then he develops his knight finally, and a castle. He then pins my knight to my king. Oh. And I decide to move my knight back to protect it. He strikes in the center, and I see what this move is doing. I think he's getting ready to play a move like d4, and although it doesn't work because this knight is covering the d4 square, so is this pawn. So once he plays this move, I'll just show you how it would be. Say I just play a random move. He plays this. I take. He takes back. I take. So at the end of it, it's not really winning anything. Anyway, I decide to move my king out of the way, getting away of the pin. Getting out of the pin. Sorry. And he attacks my pawn, which is defended, so I decide to take his pawn. That's free pawn. And he moves his pawn forward, not seeing that I can put him in check and take his other pawn. Instead, I play this move, and computer found this as a brilliant move. It's a pretty good tactic. This is the one I was talking about at the beginning of the game. He takes. I take back with my knight, win his bishop, and now I am winning. He tries to kick my knight. I move it back. And he wants to double these rooks, I believe. But I do a counter attack to try and win a pawn. And even if he does take this pawn, he would lose a rook for a knight. Doesn't sound like the best move. Oh, never mind. He's looking to just take one of my knights. I move, of course, and he attacks another pawn. And in this move, I am attacking the rook. Moves it out of the way. I check the king. And looking for the best move here. Well, what I decided to play is just break open the center. And he likes it. He follows. He asks if I want my rook traded. Well, not traded, but taken. And then I take his pawn. He moves to the open file. And in this position, I win by getting a fork on his rook and king. Hope you enjoyed the video today. If you want to leave a like and subscribe if you're enjoying